Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are happy and healthy. In today's computer session, I will say you about computer languages. That means today we are in lesson 2 of our computer book. Name of the lesson is Computer Languages. Let's begin our session. Computer languages. Children, look at this image. You will find out different names. JavaScript, Perl, PHP, XML, Pascal, Visual Basic, COBOL, Python, Basic. Children, these are nothing else. These are some of the names of computer languages. C, C++, Visual Basic, Fortran, Prolog, these are some of the names of computer languages. A computer language is a special language which is only understood by the computers. Fine, children. So what is computer language? Computer language is a special language which is only understood by the computers. We human beings are not being able to understand computer languages. A computer program consists of a set of words, symbols and codes. So when a programmer write a computer program is consists of a set of words, symbols and codes. A program is a set of instructions given to a computer to perform particular task. So what is the meaning of program? Program means a set of instructions which as a user we can give to the computer, and computer act accordingly to perform a particular task. The process of writing a program is called programming. So, when a programmer writes a program, this process is said to be the programming. The people who can write programs are called programmers. So, who are programmers? Programmers are those people who actually write the programs for a computer. Initially, programmers used binary digits 0 and 1 to write instructions for the computer. So at the beginning of the computer era, programmers only used binary language or binary digits, which is a combination of 1 and 0, to write instructions for the computer. But it is very difficult for the human being to understand the machine codes. Next point of discussion is all about categories of programming languages. Programming languages, children, can be categorized in two ways, or we can divide them into two categories: low level and high level languages. Now, low level language is again segregated in two parts, that is first generation computer generation language, that is said to be the machine language, and low level language. Another category of low level language is second generation or assembly language. Now coming to the point, high level language. High level language is also we can divide into three categories. They are procedural language, non-procedural language, and natural language. Procedural language is the third generation language. Non-procedural language is the fourth generation language. And natural language is the fifth generation computer language. All we will come to know one by one, or I can say every point I will discuss with you one after another. Based on the levels of abstraction, programming language can be classified into two categories. Okay, children? So, what are these two categories? They are low level language and high level language. Now, the question is coming to our mind, what is low level language and what is actually high level language? I will come for elaboration. Low level languages. Low level languages are the basic computer instructions, or better known as machine codes. Low level languages are written to run a particular computer and cannot be easily used on another computer. That means at the beginning stage, programmers used low level languages to write basic computer instructions or programs. And this low level computer programs are computer or machine dependent. Machine language. This is one of the basic low level language. The language was first developed to interact with the first generation computers. That means what we have come to know, machine language was developed to interact with the first generation computers. It is written in binary code or machine code, which means it basically comprises of only two digits, 1 and 0. So, when a programmer was writing a code in machine language, programmer was bound to use only two digits, that is 1 and 0. Nothing else can be used in this programming. Next is, what are the limitations of machine language? There are two drawbacks of the machine level language. One is, machine language programs run only on the computer for which they have been developed. They are machine dependent. Means if a programmer writes a program for a particular computer, this program cannot be operable in any other computer. That is why it is said they are machine dependent. Machine language programs are not portable to other computer. That means one machine language program cannot be transferred to any other computer. Next point of discussion is assembly language. This is the second generation programming language. It is developed on the machine language, which instead of using only numbers, here we use English words, names and symbols. Means a slight, a bit modification is done on machine level language in the second generation of programming language, that is said to be the assembly language. While in assembly language, programmers only used 0 and 1, but instead of that, in assembly language, programmers now they are able to use some English words, names and some symbols in the programming language. Assembly language uses mnemonics code like A for add, C for comparison, and M for multiplication, etc. So this is the difference between low level machine language with assembly language. In the assembly language, some mnemonics code are used to write programs. In assembly language, an assembler program is used to translate assembly language into machine language so that the computer can understand it. Okay, understand the fact. Actually, computer does not understand any other language other than machine language. So, if the program is written in assembly language for the computer, here one assembler program is needed to translate assembly language into machine language. Why? So that that machine language can be understood by the computer. Now I am coming to the second category of computer languages, that is children, high level language. In high level language, instructions can be written in English language. It is user friendly and easier to understand. So what is the difference? Here a programmer can use English language to write programs in high level language. And as we know children, English is a common language. We all can understand English. So that we can say high level language is user friendly as well as easy to understand. It is easy to write program in high level language. High level language is machine independent. Note the point, high level language is machine independent. What is the meaning of machine independent? Means if a program is written once, this program can be used in any other computer. That means high level language programs are portable as well as machine independent. A program written in high level language can be used on almost all the computers without any change. Now, here also children, some language processors are required to convert a program which is written in high level language to transfer that program to machine level language. So, language processors, look at this figure, you will find out clearly. High level language, supposed to be, here example is given 3 into 2 equal to 6. but computer will never understand 3 into 2 equal to 6. So what to do? A language processor program is needed. What is the task of that program? The language converter's task is to convert or transfer this program 3 into 2 equal to 6 into machine understandable language. That means in binary language. So nothing else. Language processor is one kind of program converter. Now I will briefly define or discuss with you about language processor. A program written in any high level programming language is called the source code or program. Make it clear? When a programmer is writing a program in high level language, that is said to be the source code program. To convert the source code into machine code called the object code program. That means when a program is transferred from the high level language to low level language, when it is converted into low level language, then it is said to be the object code or program. A translator or language processor translates the source program into the object program that the computer can understand and execute. Because children, if I feed or if any programmer feeds a program in high level language into the computer, or if I am writing a program instructions in high level, it is not been understandable by the computer. Computer only and only understands the 0-1 binary code or machine code. So it is mandatory or compulsorily we need one translator program to translate a program from high level to machine understandable level. There are three types of language processors. They are assembler, compiler, and interpreter. Okay, children? Now, first I will discuss with you about assembler. What is assembler? Assembler is a instructor, or I can say assembler is a translator or converter which is used to translate the assembly language code into machine language code. Okay, so what is the function of assembler? Function of assembler is to transfer assembly language program into machine language program. No other type of program is converted by the assembler. Assembler only and only can be able to convert assembly level language program into machine level language program. So look at this image. Assembly language program, then converter as such assembler, and it is converting the program into machine language program. Source program, one by one translation, then object program. Next, I will talk to you about interpreter. Interpreter is second type of translator. What is the function of interpreter? Interpreter converts the source program written in high level language into machine languages. What is the function? Interpreter actually converts the source program written in high level language into machine code. An interpreter converts each statement of a program line by line into machine code. So this is the speciality of interpreter. Interpreter actually convert statement after statement into machine code. That means it takes one sentence of the high level language, converts into the machine code, then it takes the second sentence or second statement of the high level language, then it converts it to the machine language. Like this, it is coming one after another. Now, third category of translator, that is compiler. A compiler converts the entire high level language into machine language at once and also displays errors for the whole program together. So, what is the function of a compiler? Compiler takes the whole program which is written in high level language, and if there is any errors, it first correct those errors, then converts the whole high level language program into a machine understandable code. Okay, children, I think your concept regarding language processor has been cleared now. Now I am coming to the point. Three main categories of high level languages. What are they? They are procedural language, non procedural language, and natural language. What is procedural language? Early high level languages are typically called procedural languages. Procedural languages Procedural languages are characterized by sequential sets of linear commands. The focus of such languages is on structure. Yes, procedural language mainly focused on the structure of the programs. Example of procedural languages are C, COBOL, Fortran, LISP, Perl, HTML, VB scripts, etc. Procedural language, again in another words I am defining procedural language. A procedural language uses English like words to write a program. Secondly, a procedural language is called a third generation language. A compiler or interpreter is required to transform the source code. This is another way I can define procedural language. Now I am coming to the next point, that is non-procedural languages. What is non-procedural language, children? These programming languages are considered as object-oriented programming language. So, what is the first and foremost characteristics of non-procedural languages? Non-procedural languages are coming under the category of object-oriented programming languages. It is different from procedural languages since statements are not executed line per line. Instead, a series of instructions are executed as a whole when an event occurs. So, this is the another specification of non-procedural language. It is a bit different from procedural language. Where it is different? Here, statements are not executed line per line. Instead, A series of instructions are executed as a whole when an event occurs. Example of non-procedural languages are Visual Basic, C++, Java, Delphi. Now children, I have come to the point that is third category of high level language. It is said to be the natural language as well as fifth generation language. Natural languages are of two types. The first are ordinary human language, English, Spanish, etc. So natural language in two way we can define it. One is the language that we speak. Human being speaking in different languages, they are also said to be the natural languages. The another natural languages are the programming language that use human language to provide people more natural connection with computers. So here in natural languages, what we do, we write program in human readable, understandable natural languages to connect with computers. These languages are part of the field of study known as artificial intelligence. So one part of natural language is study of artificial intelligence. I think children you must have heard about the term artificial intelligence in the era of robotics or smartphone. Now I have reached at the last phase of this lesson, that is some high level languages. Here I will discuss with you about some of the high level languages. Number 1, Fortran. The first important algorithmic language was Fortran. What was the full form? Formula translation or translator, anything. Designed in 1957 by an IBM team led by John Backus, it was designed to solve scientific problems. Number 2, ALGOL. Full form algorithmic language. ALGOL was designed by a committee of American and European computer scientists during 1958 to 60 for publishing algorithms as well as for doing computations. Number 3, C. The C programming language was developed in 1972 by who developed C? C was developed by Dennis Ritchie and Brian Keringham at the AT&T Corporation for programming computer operating systems. Next, COBOL, COBOL, the full form Common Business Oriented Language, has been heavily used by businesses since for business application. Its inception in 1959. So, COBOL was a language which was invented just for the business purpose. Next programming language, SQL. Structured Query Language is a language for specifying the organization of databases and collections of records. So SQL is one kind of database management system which is used to collect and retrieve data. Basic, BASIC, full form Beginners All Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code, was designed at Dartmouth College in the mid of 1960s by John Kemeney and Thomas Kurch. It is a programming language used by beginners. So, BASIC is a language which was developed for those persons who are at the beginning stage and learning programming language. Pascal, PASCAL. About 1970, Niklaus Wirth of Switzerland designed Pascal to teach structured programming, which emphasized the orderly use of condition and loop control structure with go to statement. So, Pascal was the first programming language where conditions or looping structure had used. Now, LOGO stands for Language of Graphic Oriented. This programming language used to draw different shapes and figures. That means Logo is also a language for kids where this language is used to draw different sorts of shapes by using programming code. Next, C++. The C++ language developed by Branje Stroustrup at AT&T in the mid-80s extended C by adding objects to it while preserving the efficiency of C++. That means C++ is the next higher version of C, and here object oriented or object orientation concept has been included in C++, which was not there in C. Java. In the early 1990s, Java was designed by Sun Microsystems Incorporation as a programming language for the World Wide Web. Although it resembles C++ in appearance, it was object oriented programming. So, another programming language invented in early 1990, name of the program is Java, which is also developed on the concept of object oriented programming. But what was more added in this programming language? It is actually developed to work with World Wide Web. That means Java is more internet oriented. Next, Visual Basic. Visual Basic was developed by Microsoft to extend the capabilities of Basic by adding object and event driven programming, buttons, menus, and other elements of graphic user interface. Visual Basic is the newer version, or after some modification, Visual Basic is invented. The basic or basis of Visual Basic is only basic programming language. Here, graphics user interface, some buttons, events, and object oriented programming concept has been included in Visual Basics, which was no which are where or I can say which were not there in only basic programming language. Next is Python, the open source language. Python was developed by Dutch programmer Guido van Rossum in 1991. It was designed as an easy to use language with features such as using indentation instead of brackets to group statement. Python was another kind of high level language, and we can say that this is one of the easy to use language where instead of brackets programmer can use indentation. Next, HTML, full form hypertext markup language. It is a markup language used for when encoding web pages. That means this is the basic language. By using this language, programmers nowadays designing web pages for internet. Lastly, Prolog. Prolog has been used extensively in natural language processing and other AI, means artificial intelligence programs application. Means Prolog is the current edition of programming language very recently developed, which is using natural languages or natural processing as well as artificial programs application. Children, this much is for today's session. Thank you, children, for watching this video. I think and I can hope that through this video you can clear your conception related to computer languages. Even then, if you are having any doubts, any confusions regarding computer languages, please, children, during the online class, share me your doubts. I will try to clear your doubts. Till then, goodbye, children. Take care and stay safe also.